Back at the OT, baby, the overtime.
It ain't over till we review it.
Well, today we jumping into The Slight Edge.
It's a great book. It's a great book. He was telling me how he read it before. You actually read it?
I read the book. This is the problem. Like a lot of things, like we read instructions, we read things, but we don't comprehend it. So I read it just to say I read it. That's what it was. So somebody say, hey, it wasn't good enough. Now, thinking back, a decade ago, or whenever it was, I read it, I was like, man, now if I reread the book and I apply these principles and I think about it, I'm like, if I would have read it and comprehended it then, when I was younger,
you would have saved so much time.
I would have been so much further in life than I am right now.
And we picked this book because the philosophies they have in this book, what we're going to share with you guys today, you can use these starting right now. It's these daily disciplines where your subconscious mind, you don't never think that it would hinder you 5 years, 10 years, 4 months, 6 months down the line. And we're going to go over some serious stuff.
He said, hey, let's do this book. If I read through the first chapter, I said it reminded me of the Compound Effect. You've read the Compound Effect. And I said that's one of my favorite books because it tells you how you just do little things. Take a walk today, take a walk tomorrow. Take one less Reese cup today, and even more the next day. You know, it's those little things that you compound over 3 years. Boom, right there.
So the first thing I want to start with on page 3. My day of disgust. My day of disgust. Tell the readers what is when Jeff Olson say my day of disgust.
Day of disgust, you know, from my opinion, my viewpoint of the day of disgust is when you were riding, you're sitting at home, you had an aha moment with yourself, all your conscious, your universe is connected, you just start feeling bad, like, I'm not where I want to be in life because I'm going through the everyday ritual of getting up, getting dressed. I drive to work the same way. I do the same thing every day. And it's just like, I'm not living to my full potential. I'm completely unhappy. I don't care if I'm making 60,000, 120,000, or $1 million, but I'm unhappy. And it's like, that's the day you become disgust with yourself and you have to make a change.
The author's name, Jeff Olson. He has taken companies from zero to hero. He have taken them from making hundreds of thousands to multi-millions. And I have the pleasure of working with him with a company, and I met him in Vegas, and he told me about this book. His day of disgust happened when he called himself being a beach bum. He was working on the beach, and he was taking care of golfers, being a caddy and doing things like that. And he was seeing people that wasn't more educated than him, wasn't as bright as him, living this lifestyle, you know, while he's working at this golf. You have a lot of different day of disgusts in your lifetime. And I remember my first one was I was working at the airport. And I kept on seeing like rich, successful people at the airport. And I know to become a millionaire, you didn't have to go to school. You didn't have to.
You don't have to.
And I always was taught that. And I was seeing other people being successful that was dumber than me.
That's a broad way to put it. There we go.
And I just got mad, like I need to do something about it. So the day of disgust is something everybody really needs to check yourself a little bit.
My real day of disgust, I think it came after my first child was born, who was still living in North Carolina. And it was just like, I'm sitting there looking at him like, I gave life, I helped create this life, and I'm living a mediocre life right now, like well beyond my expectations. It wasn't about a degree or anything else. It was just like, man, all right, I did the military, did what my country said I was supposed to do. You know, I did the status quo of the American society standards. Yeah. And I was like, man, but why I'm not happy after going to school, serving your country, why I don't have the picket fence yet? And I was just like, it's all on me. At the end of the day, you can meet everybody else's requirements, but you don't place principles in your life and hold yourself to a standard. You're gonna get what life gives you. And you know, we had our day of disgust. Now, why did we have a day of disgust? Because the choices, our daily choices that we made, maybe because our generational choices. Some things are just passed on to us subconsciously. We just do the same thing.
We have no idea
until we have a wake up moment. So in a book in chapter 3, it's called The Choices. You know, father on his deathbed had 2 sons, offering both the same things in life, saying, hey, one, you can have $1 million. You can go to the bank right now and use a line of credit and get $1 million. The other one, or you can take this nice shining penny, but every day you go see my butler, it's gonna double. So we all heard that approach, you know, a penny doubles each day, blah, blah, blah. But
So you saying he gave him two choices. He gave the son, I'm going to give you $1 million right now.
Right now.
And I'm going to get the other son a penny that's going to double every day. And how long is that going to double?
It's going to double for 31 days.
Nobody ain't taking that penny. People want that $1 million. And because the father gave them the option, you can take the $1 million and you can invest and you can do whatever you want. And with the story, what happened was one son took the penny and another son took the $1 million. And the first son that took the $1 million, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, you have to read and he can correct me on any points. But the son that took the $1 million, he completely hired a team. He got a law firm, he got lawyers, he got literally stockbrokers, investors. He started working on a team immediately. Let's hit the stock market. Let's start investing. And what did the other brother do?
The other brother, he couldn't sleep that night up. He had to make this decision. He had a choice. So he went to sleep. Something woke him up out of his dream. A dream woke him up out of his sleep and said, hey, this is what you need to do. And he saw the vision. So the next day, he went back to his dad and he said, I'll take the penny. His brother, not knowing what his brother had done. To days or weeks later, he found out.
And it was crazy because most people in life, when you make certain decisions, everybody want to down you. Because when a brother took the penny decision, the other brother he came to him and was like, hey, and we can hurry up and we can go back to dad and he can get you this $1 million. I don't want you to be that stupid or ignorant to not take this $1 million. We can beg him. He was like, no, it's no problem. I'm good. I'm going to let this penny double every day. Once that penny started doubling every day, so about a week went past. And after a week, it only grew what?
He only had 32 cents. He had 32 cents.
His brother got $1 million and he got 32 cents in a week. And a brother, he was coming to visit him and making sure everything is cool. Like, hey, man, you got 32 cents. The butler that showed you. I got some money in my pocket if you need.
Yeah, you know, you pretty much tried to down him out. Like, look, I'm the man in the town now. I got $1 million. Remember, he rented out the hotel, got a whole staff.
I think he even said, just ask Dad, can you get like a third or something of $1 million? Not even a whole $1 million.
So, yeah. So then we jump into it. It sounds like at the end of week 3, he only had $655.35. By the end of week 3.
Week 3. So you still feeling like you're losing. You're still feeling like you're losing at this point, you know?
Yeah, but he felt like he was losing. But however, now that $655.35 is about to double the next day. So now we start seeing when that slight edge approach and that compound effect started to come into play. He getting ready to go into week 4. His doubts, everything gonna set in like, man, this ain't really panning out. Brother out here living life.
Towards the end, the brother with the $1 million, stock market had plumb, went down. I think he ended up making a little bit of money, but he had to pay his lawyers.
Yep.
You know, you got to pay them a third. You got to pay lawyers. He had to pay his brokers. He had to pay everybody. And I think he ended up being like in debt.
He was in debt.
He owed.
He was $250,000
in debt. So he gave him $1 million. And 31 days later, he was $250,000 in debt.
He was $250,000 in debt. And it says, on day 28, the brother that took the penny, on day 28, his purse had just passed the $500,000 mark. His purse also refers to a wallet in these times. A man had a purse. That's what it was called.
So, okay. So that means day 30 or the next day.
Day 29, he had $2.5 million.
Wow.
Day 30, he exceeded $5 million.
And day 31,
he was already at $10 million. $10 million.5.
Started with 1 penny. 1 penny. So this is what this book about. Letting you know the slight edge decisions you make on a daily basis can affect your life. That 1 penny, that 1 daily discipline, going to the gym today is not going to, you ever like worked out and wanted to get your abs and you worked out hard on your abs and you went in the mirror to see if they just magically appeared?
Personal example, personal story. My wife delivers mail. Every day she walked. She dropped a significant amount of weight from June into New Year's.
Just every day,
doing her regular job, delivering the mail, dropped a significant amount of weight. I didn't notice it at first because I saw her every day. But then it was like she started putting on clothes. I'm like, whoa, clothes getting bigger. Mm-hmm. It's just slightest thing. Nothing else changed. Drunk more water, walked more, grabbed a Fitbit, and there we go.
Wow.
Favorite part is chapter 5 of this book, bro. Chapter 5.
Why is chapter 5?
Because chapter 5 tells us, you know how we want the quick fixes? We can't have it quickly. We got to slow down to go fast.
Slow down to go fast. So you're saying where I like to use a lot of analogies. So babies, infants, once you get ready to walk and you see grown people walking, and once you turn about one, you stand up and a baby just try to sprint and fall every time. They gotta hold on to something, learn how to do it, learn from their mistakes, and then they can walk.
But what does a baby do? What is it that a child does every day when they're trying to learn how to walk? They stay consistent to the plan. Their desire is to walk. And they, no matter how many times they fall, they cry, get up. As long as they get their balance, they're going to keep trying to run. In chapter 5, it tells us you have to be consistently repeated the daily actions plus time. Over time, a baby learns how to walk. We all learn how to walk. Ultimately, we have success at walking. Some people still can't walk that well, but they know how to do it. They got the basic principles down. But we got to realize sometimes we got to slow down. Like when we first got in the car, we was anxious to put it in drive without even putting our foot on the brake. We just hitting the gas. gear stuff. That's what it is. You know, sometimes, you know, in life, we just got to slow down. We don't get to our destination. We got to slow down along the way sometimes to say, all right, what am I overdoing or underdoing because I'm trying to do it too fast? And, you know, time ain't going nowhere. It's going to stay consistent. Time's going to repeatedly stay. It's going to take 60 seconds. It's going to be a minute. 365, sometimes 366, it's going to be what it is in a year. So you just got to stay consistent and keep going with your daily approach. And this book shows you, just do a little bit. Look at it, not from a macro level, meaning large. We'll look at this from a micro level, meaning small. Break off a small piece. Go here. I ain't telling you to give up a whole large piece every day, but instead of leave one slice in a box this time. Next time, leave a slice and a half, or leave a crust. Do something until eventually you only want to eat one slice out the box.
I love it.
And that same chapter, no, chapter 5 is my favorite. I know you got your favorite. I know you're going to get into it. But chapter 5, when it says you got to cultivate patience. Now, I'm a person who...
Elaborate.
I'm a person who likes to go get things done. We got to get it done. We got to get it done now. But then I have to remember, between this book and, you know, Thinking for a Change and Make Today Count by John Maxwell, it was like, hey, you got to plan out the day. Make sure you plan it out. You can be patient about whatever is going to happen that day, but when you go into the day blind, everything's a rush. You're always in a rush. So therefore, by now, me knowing if I want to hit the gym at 4:30, I got to backtrack 45 minutes because I'm going to hit snooze twice probably. Then I'm going to get up, do what I got to do, then I'm going to head out the door to hit the gym. But I got to be patient. Otherwise, I know I'm going to wake up in a panic state of mind because it might be 5 o'clock. Traffic already picked up. Can't control that. This quote to you, as he wrote, often in the beginning, the success path can be very uncomfortable and even scary. Why? Because we don't know the destination. We don't know the loops, the trails that's going to take us down. Because as a child was always taught, the dark area, it represents bad. Sometimes you got to go into that dark area to get to the light. You got to go through the tunnel. Trains go through tunnels all the time to come out the other side.
So it was the end of chapter 4, just to piggyback on what you were saying, because you have to get uncomfortable. If you want to be successful, you have to do things that unsuccessful people are not willing to do. At the end of chapter 4, he gives some essential points. And he says only 5%, 1 of 20 achieve the level of success fulfillment they hope for. The other 95% either fail or fall short. The only difference is a slight edge.
So why do they fail or fall short? Why? We talking 5% out of 100. That
5%?
That leaves 95% of the people out there just wandering.
That's crazy. And the next thing he said, the secret to the 5% success is always in mundane, easy things that anyone can do. Because you notice, like, whenever we all have seen videos or watched interviews, read books, where success people don't really have any type of crazy answer to success. You ask somebody, what I got to do to be a millionaire? People always want to know, what I got to do? And their answer is always very simple. It's always simple stuff every day. Okay, my discipline, my daily actions, my philosophies, and that's what definitely get it. And the last thing he said, people don't consistently do the simple things for 3 reasons.
3.
1, while they're easy to do, also easy not to do. Number 2, you don't see results at first. Like I said about the abs, you work out one day and you want to see abs. And you don't see them, so you want to quit, but you don't know you have to work out for a few months. The last thing they seem insignificant, like it don't matter, but they do.
So pretty much these three things, you know, like you said about exercising. See, most people, they can get in the habit of going to the gym, but also what they have the habit of when they leave the gym. I see McDonald's, I see Burger King. I just did 25 minutes or an hour on a treadmill. I've earned that new Big Mac.
I used to be like
I earned that double Whopper with cheese.
I was gonna eat it anyway without working out. Like that's that mentality. Like so, since I worked out, I won.
Yeah, I won.
But you gotta get disciplined on.
Our daily disciplines is what it is. You know, another book, you know, we're gonna get into later on. I read it said, hey, you can tell somebody's salary by their schedule. Some people by their schedule. They wake up at 7, gotta be to work at 8. Somebody else who wanted to get ahead of life, they woke up at 4. They was putting their work at 4 in the morning, working on themselves before they want to go work for somebody else.
Just to give people a little insight, what time do you wake up every day?
4:15 every day. Thanks to Fitbits, got it proven on track.
4:15. Why do you wake up so early? Because me, I'm not a morning person at all. But this is just from using a slight edge of the daily disciplines he does. Why you wake up at 4:15?
Well, first it started off at 5:30 because of military, but now it's like when you have kids, you have to beat your kids up. If your kids are up before you get up, that's a problem. Right there, in my household alone. Kids, you leave kids unattended, your house is going to become unattended. But you have to get up because most people like to use the excuse, I can't go to the gym because I have kids. Well, guess what? If you have a significant other, someone else at the house, and they sleep, the kids are not unattended. They're asleep, and another adult's in the house. You have to go make time.
So you're saying you can do it. So that excuse is you always you got to answer to.
Yeah, I got an excuse. If you want to go get it, you're gonna go get it.
You're gonna go get it.
If you want to go clang and bang in the gym, I don't care where is it at what time. You can go at midnight. The gym has locks on it, but it's never closed. Never walked up to a 7-Eleven and seen it closed. I ain't never seen a gym closed. If your gym is closed, guess what? It's another gym that's open. You can go run around the block for free. You dedicated to losing those pounds. So Lando, now you're about to tell the reviewers some of your best parts, you know, from the first half of The Slight Edge.
From the first half of The Slight Edge is page 82.
What happens on page 82? Tell me.
In captions, he say, why bank presidents never win the lottery. When you first hear that, you thinking like, okay, because I'm not a lottery player. A lot of people in my family play lottery. I know you know a lot of people that play lottery.
You know, we all roll the dice maybe one time and say, hey, let's get that Mega Million, $1.
Yeah, we all know everybody that done played the lottery. But just starting the caption saying, why bank presidents never win the lottery, it makes you think, it makes you want to learn more. Because they don't buy lottery tickets. Successful people has already grasped the truth that lottery players have not. Success is not a random accident. Life is not a lottery.
Life is not a lottery.
Why? Because most successful people, their philosophies, their discipline is not, because like me, I'm a numbers person. I love stats. And I know the odds of me winning a lottery, a Mega Million, is I'm likely more than probably 3 times to get struck by lightning didn't win a lottery. So I already know my odds are so against me. You won't catch me doing it on a daily basis because my mind frame is I want to go out and make my million. If I get a random luck, that's cool. But I want to do that groundwork and earn my $1 million. And you learn at the end, he talks about how most lottery winners that win a Mega Million, they are broke within 1 to 5 years after winning it because they didn't have that financial acumen about it.
Because they didn't respect money. They didn't have enough time to respect money. When you give somebody something in a large abundance and they never have respect for it, they don't care about it. They lose it. The same approach is, same analogy is to help other people out. It's when people have an inheritance, a death inheritance from death benefits. They get paid a large amount, lump sum, right after a person dies. Then next thing you know, within 10 months to 2 years, what happened? It's all gone.
It's all gone every time.
You already had plans for it.
So then he also say, one reason the Slight Edge is widely ignored, unnoticed, and undervalued is that our culture tends to worship the idea of the big break. We celebrate that dramatic discovery, that big breakthrough, that catapults the hero into the new place. In other words, we buy lottery tickets. As a society, we love lottery tickets. We love stuff like that. But life, because we all heard, don't try to get quick rich scheme, because life is not a get quick rich scheme. Unfortunately,
it's not.
And when you see a one person out of a billion people win, you think, oh, if he did it, I can. But the odds are so low, you have to put those daily disciplines to work.
It is. You know what? Someone approached me one day and said, hey, I don't have kids, but I noticed that you have twins. If you have twins, I can have twins. It doesn't necessarily work that way, guy. It wasn't not like something we planned on having twins.
You got twins,
it was
I got twins.
My twins was literally a luck of the draw.
You can have twins, but it's like, you gotta run in your family. And
at this moment in time, we didn't know. But, you know, it's things like that. People see someone else win a lottery, I can do it. So they chase winning a lottery every day. They waste $5 and $10 every day, not knowing what they could have did with that $5 or $10. That's another topic.
Oh, man.
Topic.
We about to start talking about money and investing here.
Yeah, that's another topic.
So we got to leave you guys because our attention span is not the same, not completely all the way here. So we're going to try to do a short video, but we want to leave you guys with some action steps. And because the book, we can go for 2 hours straight.
Strong.
Like going over the philosophies that Jeff did. But we're going to turn to 104, and he's going to break down some of the ideas and leave you guys with action steps of what he broke down.
What he broke down for us, he gave us this formula. The slight edge plus happy habits is the keywords, equals success.
So real quick, the slight edge, that's those simple areas of judgment. That's that simple thing you do every single day we've been talking about that will affect you. Happy habits. What's happy habits?
Things that you enjoy doing every day subconsciously. For me, it's getting up, going to the gym. Every day, that's a happy habit. Put me in a different place. Somebody else might be getting up, taking your kids to the bus stop and going for a walk after that. Or for older people, they have a happy habit of walking the mall daily. Regardless of the weather, they're walking the mall.
A lot of older people do that.
And they're there.
You notice that like, a lot of old people love just getting
you and I, we saw them as younger, but we used to go chase after Jordans. They was already in the mall walking. So he says these are his happy habits. Each morning, write down 3 things you are grateful for.
So that's number 1.
That's number 1. Not the same thing each day. You know, some people say, hey, how you doing? I'm living, I'm good. You here, I'm good. We both above dirt. I'm grateful for that. It's something every day you have to be grateful for. Maybe you found $1 the day before. You increase your wealth by $1. You can be grateful for that. Your kids brought home some good grades. They normally get in trouble. I'm grateful for that. You know, maybe they cleaned up their room. I'm grateful for that today. That's 2 things I don't have to do.
I like that. Okay, let's both do one thing we're grateful for in the morning, man. I'm grateful that we're doing something today that can probably affect just one person's life to pick up and read this book and be able to change their life.
I'm grateful that when people see this video, no matter what walk of life they come from, they understand they're not alone. There's others out there like them.
Number 2.
Journal for 2 minutes a day about one positive experience you've had over the past 24 hours. So your journal could be your phone, your smartphone, your iPhones, your tablets, your iPads, whatever you have, just to write it down for 2 minutes. You can sit there and text it to yourself. I've become very fond of texting myself, and therefore I don't forget it. I can be anywhere and I just write it down. People see me in the gym talking to myself. I have a mic. It's a talk to text app. And I just say, hey, what I'm thankful for and what I need to accomplish today. So 2 minutes go by very quick and very easy.
And the good thing about that positive experience, once you start doing this, your subconscious mind tells you to look for a positive experience today, since you know you got to write down something.
You make it like an affirmation. It's an affirmation. Every day you're going to look for something positive.
So you're looking for some positive stuff. You waking up like, okay, I see somebody homeless. Let me give them some, let me help them out. They go in the same direction I'm going. They at the bus stop. You stop. You pick them up. Hey, I see you heading north, going this way. So am I. How far you're going? Oh, that's on my way to work. I can let you out right here. Number 3,
meditate daily. All right.
I never was a meditator. I never was a big meditation person. Now I meditate like I need it. Like you're more knowledgeable about meditation.
Meditation takes you to a different. Once you finally get in tapped and you can hear your heartbeat and you can finally just zone on everything, it takes you to a different world. It brings you that at peace moment. Most successful people I know, they have spoke about going to yoga class, going to meditation class, going somewhere, just sitting out, getting that perfect scenery or wherever that, and zone out. I never forget when I was doing my whole thing for the Secret Service, they asked me, do you meditate and how often? I didn't understand the question at first until I really got involved in it, because you can literally control your heartbeat. and control how it gets stacked, how something can detect your heartbeat. Like those who pass lie detector tests know how to control their heartbeat. They ask you, how long have you been doing it? Somebody can just be sitting there, heartbeat just 60, 40, just normal.
I like it.
Number 4, do a random act of kindness over the course of each day. Lando, what does that mean to you? You in the service world. Service you?
It's me, it means going over it and beyond. Because a random act of kindness, it have to be something genuine. I can give a perfect example where I'm at the gas station and I see an older lady is trying to carry something to her car. Me just going there, hey, genuinely, hey, I see you holding this. Let me open the door for you. Do you need help taking it to the car? Something as simple as that. Just a random act of kindness. Or you see somebody homeless and you just have an extra $1 or $2 wouldn't affect you at all. And you don't know how far that $2 can take them, because a few people do that to them a day, they can have a full meal to eat.
Even simpler than that. Sometimes people don't understand the power of a word. You see somebody with their head down, hey man, lift your head up, it's gonna be all right. It can't be that bad. Just sparking a conversation with somebody could potentially save them from jumping over the bridge, from killing themselves. And then when they come back and tell you, hey, you know what, because you took that moment to say, ask me how I was doing, you literally changed the outcome of my day. That's the power of the word.
Ooh, that's good. And the last thing,
exercise, exercise, exercise. Exercise for 15 minutes daily. Now, you don't have to be in the gym, throwing up 500, doing whatever you're doing in the gym. You don't even have to go to the gym. Simple things in life. I don't know who created this thing, the Fitbit, but it just tells you when to get up and go for a walk for 250 steps every hour. Now, slightest thing, you don't even count 250 steps. That's going from here to your mailbox and coming back. Next thing you know, you get rewarded. It jumps up and down. Hey, you met your goal. Now, over the course of the day, you do that every hour. That's a 2-minute walk every hour while you're at work. You just did it for 16 minutes.
Wow. Those are the 5 things that break down everything more detailed, but researchers have different lists of doing these things because they increase you in different areas. 1, make more time for friends. Practice savoring the moment. That's a real good one. Practice having a positive perspective. Put more energy into cultivating your relationships. Practice forgiveness, engaging in meaningful activities, and practice simple acts of giving. They all share similarities, and they are all drawn from the same body of research. Because I place a high value on personal development and learning, my list will include reading 10 pages of a good book a day. So everybody have their different things, but this is something you can start with. Something that's simple. You don't have to start with all 5. Just try to start 1, 2, and get the ball rolling.
For most people, for you, it's just 10 pages. For me, it's
mine is definitely like I have to read.
Mine's as simple as, besides reading, when I get up, when I hit the car, first thing I do is hit play. I have an audiobook. So for some people, if you spend a lot of time in your car, this may be beneficial for you.
He's an audio person.
So, you hit play and let it go while you're driving. Instead of listening to whatever you're listening to, listen to something that's going to affect your day. And once you get that involved in your habit, they said once you do it for 21 days, it's a habit now. Next thing you know, hey, the slight edge approach is already kicking in without you subconsciously knowing it. You're going to listen to that book and you're going to hit pause. I need to do that. So if you can't read this book, download it. Have your kids read it to you. Somebody read it to you. It's available on iTunes, available on Google Play, it's available on Audible. Whichever way you want to go get this book, it's a book that I highly recommend everyone reads.
He also made one for teens. What I sent to my nieces and nephews.
You're right.
I had the one slight edge for teens. So this one, the wordplay is a little bit different, but they have one because his daughter helped write it for teens.
And the only thing I'm leaving off this as a parent, this helps you in so many different ways. How you can take these same principles and apply it to being a parent. Maybe somebody like me, I was aggressive with my kids. Because I grew up, you yell, get things done, put fear. But now you learn different ways for different strokes for each one of my kids. And now you have to approach them in a different way.
I'm Orlando.
I'm Terrill.
This is Overtime.
It ain't over
until we review it.
Bam!